Well, that's a dilemma.
What are you doing here? Watch yourself.
What's up, Meta Nerds? We just got back from the Jedi Survivor hands-on demo experience. Me and my wife Elise got to sit down and play for 4 hours, just running around doing whatever we want. I'm going to talk about everything from the experience itself to interesting additions and lore context, some informed speculation, and just random cool stuff I want to share. Where we start was about an hour into the game, and I promise EA is not torturing our gonk droid to make sure we say nice things. Everybody really had a great time and seemed genuinely excited. They didn't pay us, but they did cover the expenses for the stay, whatever that makes you think. Just want to let you know. But the shortest way to sum it up, if you liked Fallen Order, it looks like you will love this game. A weird point I want to make, and a cool behind-the-scenes point, that I was really nervous after the game got delayed, and everybody knows EA gets and has deserved a lot of flack, but we got a peek at just how large a company like this is. I assume it's the same with Disney, where sometimes the issues fans worry about come from some far-off exec, but the actual creators love Star Wars. It was amazing to see how hyped and nerding out the developers were. We weren't allowed to take pictures, but this is the room we were in. There were a bunch of devs walking around, helping us and answering questions. There was just a pure joy in all the devs we talked to, nerding out over some new feature or side mission. It seemed like they loved Star Wars and are confident in the game. It was just a big room full of Star Wars fans nerding out. The devs were like big kids. Sorry the rambling, but I thought it was really cool. And today's the first day we're allowed to talk about everything. I was blown away by what we saw, took a whole bunch of notes, but there is a giant list of things that we still can't talk about, which is only because of the incredibly ballsy decision to let us play a major part of the story that goes in a direction I don't think anyone will expect, in a very good way. I'm actually glad we don't get to spoil this crucial moment for you, but it did get my mind spinning on the lore implications and what we finally get to explore. So keep that in mind and try to read between the lines while I do a lore walkthrough of some of the footage we have, both from what they gave us and the trailers that are out so far. Hopefully I don't get an email to take this down, and I'm making sure to avoid all the absolute no-nos. So, Cal died, and it's revealed that this whole time we've been playing as his clone. That's going to be the tie-in to Mando and the Bad Batch series. Oh wait, that's the Star Killer. Wrong game. I'm blending Legends and canon again. That really is a joke, that isn't some clue into what we saw, I promise. So let's get into it. After a mission to one of the most dangerous planets in the galaxy, the Mantis barely escapes and has to do a crash landing on this planet newly made for the game, called Kobo. Everything we saw was a masterful way to respect Fallen Order, the characters and story from that game, and overall just their incredible style of visual storytelling. It's a really classic gaming style, where you see things that you can't do yet with your current abilities, you have a lived-in world with logical actors, and environments that fill you with wonder, having you go, oh, that's cool, that's what that was for. Your mission here is to get parts to repair the Mantis, and we were headed here because this is where Grease has been living out his dream of operating a cantina, which is a nice reference to some of the conversations hinted at in Fallen Order.
Have either of you heard the Parsons?
Rumors and cantinas, but not much to go on.
You go to cantinas?
Jedi aren't easy to find. We needed news.
And drinks. Anyway, that's a story for another time.
Everyone has speculated, based on shots released by EA already, that the High Republic will play some role in this game. And when you get into town, you see the first hints of this lived-in world, is that there are these blocks that made me shout, giant holocron. Later we explore through a High Republic temple, and you can see some of these are active and some just look like blocks made in this style, which I'm sure will play a factor in puzzles, but lore-wise you can see why this helped for both temple security, and to help Padawans deepen their connection with the Force. The High Republic era is about from 500 to 82 BBY, a time when the Jedi believed the Sith had been extinct for half a millennia, and explores all sorts of gaps in the lineage from Darth Bane to Sidious, that were never even fully explored in Legends. There was so much potential for this era, and it's just a really smart choice for a video game like this because it means that the characters, Force abilities, and philosophies may differ from the narrow vision of the late Republic Jedi. However Cal interacts with the teachings from the Jedi Order ancestors, they're sure to be at least somewhat different from his master and what others taught during the Clone Wars era. This world Kobo may have a High Republic temple here because of, and let me read this right from the email so I don't get in trouble, this nebula-looking thing is, quote, an anomaly that might offer Cal and his friends something valuable. I think we all know what might means in gamer talk, and so there may be a connection to why the temple is here. Gameplay-wise, I would speculate that since our pal Grease is trying to build up his cantina, we may be building up this whole Prospector town into a proper city, making friends and finding useful loot along the way to make Rambler's Reach a hub for Jedi and anti-Imperial activity. You've seen tons of footage with the battle droids, and there's this.
Last time I saw a Lucre Hulk was Braca. Long time ago, Prof.
I really hope we get to run around inside of there, and it's just perfect with that video game visual storytelling. The baddies here, the Bedlam Raiders, seem to be led by the Gendai named Ravis. Just like some classic Zelda, maybe when we clear out the Raiders, we find out how they were reactivating the droids, and the hero now wields this power. Playing on Cal's past as a nameless scrapper that was slaving away under the Empire. Seeing Lucrehulk's descend on Bracca was such a great way to show the sad truth of the Clone Wars and Cal's position. That things as large as the Grand Army of the Republic and Confederacy of Independent Systems were ultimately pawns, Palpatine's playthings to be discarded and thrown in the trash when he was done with them. Everything from massive galactic governments to the countless enormous capital ships, his beloved Jedi Order and his own master stood no chance against the plotting of a Sith. And so what chance did a junk rat like Cal have in a galaxy like this? What a powerful character arc this could be, to have Cal use his past, climbing around in the Lucrehulk, now scrapping parts to help out the town. Activating our own battle droid army to the cheers of the townsfolk, not slaving under some faceless empire, but helping to protect our friends that come to fill up and revitalize this shantytown. Maybe even Cal will step into the light and make a small Force Academy in the old High Republic temple, revitalizing both city and temple. Because if we do explore that anomaly, Gobo could act as the center point between it and the rest of the galaxy. I can't say the one I know for sure comes next, but everyone was really excited when they heard it. And more than this point of building this western town, it's a theme we see in The Mandalorian. It's just perfect for Star Wars. When you come back home, you may find some new nerf herders looking to take over, getting into Cad Bane style duels, and new mechanics like the garden means you must be coming back here often. I hope this is used to create things that will be used across the galaxy during your adventure. Everything from simple potions for healing, maybe immunities or cures for some toxin, and tradable items to win people over. Just imagine some homesick alien wanting for nothing but the taste of some fruit back home, and he can't believe his eyes when you show him you have one. Melu Run fruit was certainly a big deal in Rebels, and this farming mechanic was surprisingly detailed and with tons of different plant options. One of the devs was nerding out helping us understand how it works and playing with it, and we know that one of your allies is a literal witch, so I think having a little garden for brews and potions is a perfect fit, let alone what you might find via High Republic Lost Jedi knowledge and wisdom from different ancient alien species you might meet. Since we see there is some sort of team fight dynamic, I wonder how all these abilities will play together, giving your teammates perks and boosts from arms and armor to maybe herbal boosts. A real Witcher meets Mass Effect kind of feel. If you don't like this idea, I highly doubt they would force you to do this gardening mechanic. I think it's cool and proves that you'll be coming back to this planet more often, acting like your home base, but it would really add to the playthrough at the highest difficulty, as you work to make sure you have any boost you can get, and really want to explore those side missions. Again, it comes back to this world acting like a hub, as you can hopefully get the band back together, along with new people of course that could range from useful contacts, deadly warriors, and skilled researchers that might all call Ramblers Reach home. I just hope we make a Wookiee friend, so we can get a combo where I force push a stormtrooper into the furball, where they tear him apart limb by limb. Because this game does keep the severed limbs combat, and there's tons of little details of the lore accurate weapons, like hearing prospectors talking about the E5, the B1 blaster, B2s fire rockets, and commandos are vibroblade swinging springy legged problems. While the B1s are their hilarious self, expect to see tons of videos covering all the different lines once this game comes out.
Out of my way!
On the practical side, you can tame mounts and fast travel to meditation spots. And there are a ton of these spots, so it'll be more fun to jump back into a world and pick up some side quests. I love how they respect, build on, and incorporate the lore without being limited by it. There are a ton of new creatures and enemy factions that we saw all in just 4 hours so early on in the game, which are all a ton of fun. And so some things you should keep in mind from the new canon lore on the High Republic era are things like the Drengir. In the Ithorian species video I mentioned how the benevolent plant god may have made the spore, which acts a lot like the Flood from Halo, but the Drengir are pretty close to the Flood too, with their collective hive mind that says things like, nourish us or be one with us, the choice is yours. And these were active in the Outer Rim. The Nihil were anarchist marauders that spread chaos throughout the Outer Rim, and had a technology that defied the conventional understanding of hyperspace, with their HQ being in a location that only their faster-than-light path engines could reach. No ship with normal hyperspace technology could get there. They were responsible for the Great Hyperspace Disaster, which popped tons of things out of hyperspace, causing debris that came out at insane speeds and destroyed planets. They were also known to conduct operations with tamed beasts that could cut a Jedi off from the Force, like the Ysalmiri used by Thrawn in Legends. Also, it's confirmed that Rayvis, this character, is a Gendai. All interesting lore on the table from Disney canon, and so there are tons of possible ways that Cal's abilities could be tested. Imagine late game where you can't use the Force on some enemies, or have to desperately use every ability you have to try and take out something like a Gendai. I'll end on the incredible display that we have no footage of, but they closed it out with having a dev show us what a fully unlocked Cal can do against hordes of enemies. Using insane combos to fly through the air, push and pull enemies into danger, quickly and seamlessly switch between double blade like Maul, dual like Ventress, a larger Force Pike style, and blaster saber combos like Ezra and Kanan. It was incredible to see. We're both extremely hyped, and my closing remark is something I want to make sure I say, is that all this footage is in progress build game footage. It may not represent the final product. Let me know what you think, what you hope to see, your most wild speculation, and any questions you have. I'll try and see if I can answer them. Be sure to hit that like button and check out these other videos. Most important of all, remember, make sure you're near a star if you're gonna fight a Gendai, and the Force will be with you, always.